Katt Williams has made another shocking claim. This time, he spoke about Diddy, Will Smith, and Clive Davis. He says Clive Davis taught Diddy and Will Smith how to control and take advantage of young men and women. Suge Knight has also said that he believes Katt's claims are true.
Where is this coming from with you? What do you believe about the people around Diddy and what everybody knows?
Well, first of all, you got to start with the top. You starting with the top. Clive Davis, Russell Simmons, Andre Arell, Jimmy Iovine. Even if you take Jimmy Iovine, he had an allegation from him, same thing, he went away. You take Jimmy Iovine. They told me at Universal and Interscope, they said, you know what? We can't deal with artists that gets in trouble. And your artist gets in trouble, they talk crazy. Let's think about what they see.
Suge also claimed that Diddy was influenced by Clive first, and that the two had a secret physical relationship in the past. He said this remained hidden until Clive later publicly came out as bisexual.
I walked in Jimmy's office. I didn't have to knock on the door or get somebody let Jimmy know Mr. Knight there. Walk right in. He do his thing. Anyway, when he walked in my office, we was having a conversation. He overheard somebody say something he probably shouldn't have heard. He wanted to holler at me. So I tell the homies, give me a minute. Jimmy said, man, I'm here because Clive Davis called me, and him and Puffy is real tight and, lovers. So I thought he was talking like they got love for each other. All right. He said, yeah, they are lovers. I said, well, why you keep saying that? I said, look, you saying they lovers like they're sucking? He said, I don't want to say that, but that's what it means, right? I said, okay. He said, Clive don't want nothing to happen to Puffy. He said, but this guy ain't going to be able to do his business because we know what he did. What they did.
As Katt continues to pull back the curtain on the music and film industry, more voices from the past are speaking out as well. One of the most outspoken is Suge Knight. When Suge talks, people pay attention because he has been in places most outsiders never see. He said the problem didn't start with artists like Diddy, but with powerful executives at the very top. He mentioned names that are rarely questioned, such as Berry Gordy and Clive Davis. According to Suge, these figures helped shape the system, controlled opportunities, and decided who would be protected and who would not.
All right, listen to this. There was a guy named Berry Gordy, and you know who Berry Gordy is.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I went in the room with Berry Gordy, but everybody knew that Berry Gordy hits both sides of the fence, they always say. So Berry Gordy was the guy who had the Jackson 5, who eventually conned Michael Jackson because Joe Jackson was a Jehovah's Witness, and they say, Michael, you come hang with us, you can get toys. They might got Michael some more than toys. Then it was Quincy Jones with Michael. And you know exactly where I'm going with this. Next thing you know, Michael Jackson, allegedly, they said he started partying with younger boys. So where did Michael Jackson get it from? And if you know, you wouldn't have a problem to say, Berry Gordy was touching on Michael Jackson. You wouldn't have a problem to say that Quincy Jones was touching on Michael Jackson. And you wouldn't have a problem to say that Michael Jackson was touching on the little boys. But what the problem come in at, and we start talking about the Clive Davisons and the other people, and it goes down to Puffy, that's where the buck stops at. Gee, Puffy's a black sacrifice lamb. You know, at the end of the day, and Puffy, that's me, I think, to them. Shit, they ain't tripping. But if you don't stop the cycle, it's going to keep happening. Somebody need to go visit Usher right now. Say, Usher, it's not too late for you. We know you hit a few other guys you brought on, but it's not too late for them either.
This is where Katt's message becomes especially important because he has been saying the same thing for years. He believes the industry often sacrifices the people in the spotlight while the real power figures stay hidden. According to Suge, when scandals happen, the blame usually falls on the artist, while executives avoid consequences. He even suggested that Diddy could end up being the fall guy for a system that existed long before him, which he says is what may be happening now. Some reports have also alleged that Diddy involved Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith in serious misconduct, including claims about inappropriate recordings in their home. though these accusations remain unproven and highly controversial.
Somebody stole 2 hard drives from Jada's house. So now we get into why she's even more mad. Jada will watch at the houses. She had her laptop. She would stick her hard drive in, right? Boom, and hook it up to the TV. And she could play whatever video she watching. So I'm seeing videos of her and Will and a bunch of other, some celebrities, everything. Because remember, the last interview I told you, if you don't sue me, I'm going to let people know who you've been hitting with them dildos. And I said, if you don't sue, I'm going to sue. So I told you, being Muslim, whatever I say I'm going to do, that's what I'm going to do, period. And I got to have evidence. So she's sitting down here watching, playing with herself, high as a kite. Right? Not caring who's in the house, whether kids watching, nothing. She's in her own world. So that's how I was able to see the tapes. I saw them, and I saw some things that were unreal, and I saw celebrities on the tape.
Ooh.
I'm under penalty of perjury. If anything in here is a lie, my ass going to jail. Period. There's no if, there's no ends, there's no buts. You know what you and Diddy was doing together in y'all younger years. All that's coming out.
Who else did you see allegedly on the tapes?
Tyrese with Will and Jada. Then the one with Charlie Mack and Will. Jada's not on it, but you can hear her say, make him spit up. Period. So when these tapes come out, people will know I'm telling the absolute truth.
Allegedly.
While many of these allegations had mostly been rumors, legal cases are now reportedly being filed involving Will Smith and the Smith family. In the most recent claim, one of Will's former male associates alleged that Will attempted to assault him. These claims are serious, but they are still allegations and have not been proven in court.
Shocking allegations against Will Smith, a violinist who was a finalist on America's Got Talent and performed in Smith's band, is accusing the star of predatory behavior. Jim Murray has the details.
Will Smith faces serious allegations in an explosive lawsuit just filed. This violinist is accusing Smith of predatory behavior and sexual exploitation. Before filing the lawsuit, he posted this cryptic message.
Unfortunately, some things happened, and I can't get into the details of exactly what that was.
Brian Joseph King made a name for himself when he competed on America's Got Talent and dazzled the audience and judges with his incredible talent, placing as a top 3 finalist in 2018. Judge Heidi Klum was so impressed, she ran on stage and gave him a hug. Last year, Joseph was hired to go on tour with Will Smith and his band. Today, the violinist claims Smith told him, "You and I have such a special connection that I don't have with anyone else." He says after he made allegations of sexual harassment to Will Smith's management team, he was fired.
Getting fired or getting blamed or shamed or threatened or anything like that, simply for reporting sexual misconduct or safety threats at work, is not okay.
Will Smith's attorney is firing back, calling the allegations false, baseless, and reckless. They are categorically denied, and we will use all legal means available to address these claims and to ensure that the truth is brought to light.
This isn't the first time Will Smith's family life has faced public scrutiny. As his fame grew, he and Jada were often watched closely as parents. They spoke openly about raising their children with fewer strict rules, believing that giving them more freedom would help them grow. Our concept is as young as possible, give them as much control over their lives as possible, Will once explained. That parenting style sparked controversy in 2014 when a photo of their underage daughter, Willow, went viral online.
Then there was the moment on social media. She was 13 with a 22-year-old man in her bed.
Saw that.
It's no big deal. They were just hanging out. I got 3 questions to ask about that.
1.
1322. Appropriate or inappropriate?
Inappropriate.
Alone. Appropriate or inappropriate?
Inappropriate.
In your child's room. Appropriate or inappropriate?
Definitely inappropriate.
Part B to that. In your child's room with the door closed, in the bed, half dressed.
Grab the shotgun.
On social media.
Hell no.
Who took that picture? That's
Who did?
Yeah, it's just. That's, yeah.
We cutting off our hair.
Red flags.
We laid up with old.
Yeah.
That's an old. When she was born, he was probably already trying to rub one out at the park.
Oh, man.
Think about the difference in that.
The imagery.
She's 13.
Long before his movie star image, Will Smith also had moments from his early career that later drew criticism. In his early music days, he made remarks that many people found offensive. On a 1986 recording, he said lines that referenced people with AIDS and sexuality in a way that upset listeners. Years later, while preparing for a film role that required him to kiss another man, Will admitted he did not feel ready at the time. He said he worried about how people from his hometown in Philadelphia might react and felt he wasn't emotionally prepared to fully commit to that part of the role. His explanation did not satisfy everyone. Actor Ian McKellen publicly criticized the comments, calling them unnecessary. In later years, additional rumors and allegations about Will's behavior toward men surfaced, though many of these claims remain disputed and unproven.
They're both bisexual, they do weird things in their house, and young men have left their house fucking screaming to get away from them in their mentorship. Meek Mills. Bashir Gray. Left that house fucking screaming. August's the only one that stayed, and I guess he was really sick. He needed the help.
Will has also been unusually open about his private thoughts over the years. At one point, he even admitted wanting a large group of romantic partners. The idea of traveling with 20 women that I loved and took care of and all of that, it seemed like a really great idea, he said. Later, he admitted that fantasy wouldn't actually work in real life. Looking back now, all these moments paint a more complicated picture, especially with the likes of Keith D, alleging that the Smiths were present at Illuminati freak-off parties with Diddy and potentially even Clive Davis.
And Will Smith, you told me before that you was at a party before that they attended and you said the party was weird. Tell me about that.
Okay, this is boxer. His name's Twan. He's from our neighborhood. He was married to Tanisha Arnold. So the broad played Pam on Martin Lawrence. We went to the party with her. I mean, it was matter of fact, it was a set it off party. Jada Pickett, Vivica Fox, all of them was there. You know what I'm saying? It was just, seemed like Puff and Tupac was like a couple, seemed like to me. It was just a lot of weird going on, you know what I'm saying? The vibes ain't there. I guess that's what Tupac was talking about, the Illuminati. It's like Vivica Fox was with this big gay man. He was 6'9". They called him, his name 6'9". He had the red hair with a big old booty and shit. Nobody was gaying him over. What the f is going on here? It's just a lot of weird, you know what I'm saying?
When Clive Davis was asked about Diddy and appeared to act as if he barely knew him, Jaguar said she didn't believe it at all. In her view, it wasn't confusion or age. It was intentional. She felt it was a way of signaling that he no longer wanted to discuss that part of his past. According to Jaguar, Clive and Diddy came from the same industry circles, but powerful figures often distance themselves when controversies grow too loud.
I have to ask you, you mentioned Clive Davis. They just showed him recently walking into somewhere and they asked him about Diddy and he said who? Is that old age or does he not, they're not in the same world? Or they're in the same world, but they're not cohorts?
He's definitely been his ass.
Oh, okay.
I would call that the same world.
Okay. Pretty intertwined.
And for him to say Diddy who is his way of saying, I'm not talking about Sean anymore. Maybe he's been playing cozy with the other Sean. Maybe he just got him another Sean.
She explained that, in her view, this is how powerful people protect themselves. When problems grow, they step back, stay silent, and allow others to face the backlash. She believes this matches what figures like Katt Williams have been warning about, a system that protects those at the top while those in the spotlight take the blame. Jaguar says not everyone plays the same role, but many exist within a culture that rewards silence and discourages speaking out. Clive Davis, she claims, has also faced serious accusations over the years. On March 1, 2025, The music world was shocked by the tragic death of R&B singer Angie Stone in a devastating road accident. She was traveling in a van with several others when the vehicle lost control and overturned. Reports say many passengers initially survived the crash, but while rescue efforts were underway, another truck struck the wreckage. Angie was critically injured and sadly did not survive while the others did. Her family later filed a lawsuit, describing her final moments as painful and traumatic. What fueled speculation online was the timing. Not long before her death, Angie had spoken publicly about financial disputes with the music industry, saying she believed she was owed money and was prepared to pursue legal action. After her passing, some people on social media began connecting her earlier statements to the tragedy and mentioning industry figures such as Clive Davis. However, there is no confirmed evidence linking her death to anything other than a tragic accident, and authorities have not indicated foul play.
I didn't make the Oprah show because of my weight. And then I'll tell you something that happened that I haven't told anybody, but you'll get the exclusive. D'Angelo had lost his deal with Virgin. And he called me, told me. I made a phone call, and I got Clive and Peter Edge to sign him to J Records because I could not bear the idea of the world finding out that he had gotten dropped. Okay? And they signed him. Lo and behold, I believe his manager at the time, not knowing it had come through me, basically made a deal. I'm thinking they made a deal that will come, but she has to leave. Oh. And so I kind of got a feeling my album budget got cut. You know, I usually have $1 million album budget. They wanted me to make the record for $500,000. And at the time, I had Diary of a Soul Sister. It was what the album was going to be called. I had, you know, Chaka Khan, Nat Nicole. I was getting some divas to sit with me, kind of, and kind of chop it up and do a classic album, something that had never been done. And when they cut the album, it just threw up a red flag to me.
This wasn't the first time people pointed to tragedy involving artists connected to him. When some began looking back, they noted how many heartbreaking stories existed across decades. Clive Davis wasn't just another executive. He was seen as a powerful gatekeeper whose support could launch careers, while his rejection could close doors just as quickly. One example often mentioned is Janis Joplin, one of the early stars whose career rose rapidly during that era. Her voice was distinctive and powerful, and her fame came almost overnight. But behind the success, she struggled with personal issues and the pressures of sudden stardom. In 1970, she was found dead at only 27 years old. Authorities ruled her death an accidental overdose, though fans and commentators have continued to discuss her life and struggles ever since.
All of those artists who see all of these suspicious things that happen to all of their counterparts that were all managed by Mr. Davis even long before. I wonder, does it ever really cross Alicia Keys' mind that that man managed Janis Joplin? Janis Joplin! And the second that she tried to break away from him, next thing you know, dead in a bathtub, alleged overdose, kind of like Whitney Houston. But people also said that she was beaten up too, allegedly, just like Whitney Houston. How do you sign a contract with a man with those kind of details looming about?
Then there was Whitney Houston, often considered Clive Davis's biggest success story. She was celebrated worldwide with a polished image and a voice that defined a generation. For years, she appeared untouchable, but behind the scenes she struggled with intense pressure, personal challenges, and substance issues. In 2012, Whitney was found unresponsive in a hotel room during Grammy weekend. The timing shocked many fans, especially since major music events were happening in the same hotel at the time. Authorities later ruled that she had accidentally drowned, with heart disease and drug use listed as contributing factors. Even so, the circumstances felt deeply unsettling to many people who admired her.
No, she was a heavy smoker. She was a chain smoker. She smoked 3 packs of Newports a day. And still could sing like that. But when you add in anal or the crack, and then the this and the that, and then the... When they did her autopsy, they said there was nothing wrong with her throat. Her lungs were so damaged that she couldn't fuel the notes. It was her lungs. It wasn't... Her voice was fine.
Oh.
That's how Clive did it. And then the next thing you know, she's f***ing Ray J. And then it's Grammy time.
That happened.
And her and Clive had a fight 2 days before. And from what I was told, Bobby Christina was present for some of that fight. And then the next thing you know, she's dead. Ray J was the last person to see her alive. He let the drug dealer in, but she was sober, right? But he let the drug dealer in that gave her the shot. Leola Brown, Bobby Brown's sister, has said on several occasions that she was beaten. They saw her body. She didn't just die in a tub, like she was beat up.
Oh, wow.
And Brandy was the one that found her. But you know, they pledge allegiance to Clive too.
Jeez.
When Whitney's daughter later died in a very similar way, it made the tragedy feel even more heartbreaking. People were also surprised that Clive Davis held a party the same night Whitney passed away.
I hate what it did to Whitney Houston.
Yeah.
I hate that. That woman was everything to me.
Yeah. Do you know that at the time that she died,
her drugness, Blair, her drug made this whole world lose respect for that woman. You got DeMar Hamlin. The world is shaped up so much now, bro. We got DeMar Hamlin almost died.
Yeah.
And we stopped the game for him.
Yeah.
Almost died. But we got Whitney Houston. Lose her motherfucking life. And I just found out this reading. And you still had that Clive Davis party?
Yeah.
The disrespect for that fucking woman.
Yeah.
The disrespect for Whitney. It's a fucking shame. Because of her drugs, it's the fucking disrespect for that woman. I just found out you still had a fucking party.
And that was his biggest artist ever.
Bro, that's sick.
Clive Davis, yeah.
That's why voices like Katt Williams are getting so much attention lately. He keeps saying the industry isn't what it seems. Behind the fame, awards, and applause, he believes there is a darker side that people are only now starting to question. Sometimes allegations don't just stay online. They end up in documentaries and on TV. That happened with the Netflix documentary Scene Combs, The Reckoning, which portrayed Diddy in a very negative way. His mother, Janice Combs, strongly objected to it. She felt the film crossed a line and described it as an attack on her son's character rather than fair storytelling. At the moment, Diddy is reportedly serving a prison sentence related to prostitution charges, though he was cleared of more serious racketeering accusations. Despite the legal outcome, Janice believes the documentary focused only on the worst claims and ignored anything positive about him. Reports say she wants the public record corrected and is speaking out strongly, with insiders describing her as determined and influential in her own right.
Bad boy. You think it's Diddy, it's Janice Combs. Janice Combs is bad boy. Man, you don't actually sign to Diddy. His name is on a dotted line, but you actually sign it to Janice Combs.
Did he ever tell you why that is, or do you understand?
Now that I'm older, I know exactly what it is. It's a paper trail, so nothing can come bite me. If you come for me, you ain't coming for me. I ain't got nothing. You going to my mama. Good luck with that.
Whether the public believes Janice's version of the story or not, one thing is clear. She's not done fighting. And in a world where documentaries shape reputations, this battle over the truth is far from over. And sooner or later, we may well see the likes of Diddy, Clive Davis, and Will Smith all take the fall.